The discovery of a grainy, heart-wrenching video has cast a haunting new light on the final hours of British teenager Jay Slater, whose body was found in a remote Tenerife ravine after a desperate weeks-long search. The footage, filmed just hours before the 19-year-old vanished, shows the apprentice bricklayer dancing, laughing, and throwing his arms around friends inside a heaving Tenerife nightclub, a world away from the brutal wilderness that would become his resting place. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. For many, the video is almost unbearable to watch, a snapshot of youth, freedom, and joy on the cusp of being swallowed by a tragedy so devastating it has gripped the UK and beyond. It is both a celebration of life and a cruel reminder of how quickly it can be snatched away. The last party. The nightclub, lit with strobes of neon purple and electric blue, was alive with energy that night. Music pulsed through the packed crowd, a mix of tourists and locals soaking up the island's legendary nightlife. In the video, Jay appears carefree, his face flushed with the heat of the dance floor, his laughter loud enough to pierce through the pounding bass. Friends say the night was like any other, a group of young Brits celebrating the freedom of a summer trip abroad, hopping between bars, sharing rounds of cheap cocktails, and taking endless videos to capture the euphoria. For Jay, who had traveled from Lancashire with friends, it was a chance to unwind after long weeks of bricklaying under England's grey skies. But within hours, the carefree energy of that club would give way to silence, confusion, and, ultimately, heartbreak. A timeline in shadows. The nightclub video provides the last clear look at Jay alive and safe. What followed remains a tragic mystery that investigators and his grieving family are still piecing together. After leaving the club in the early hours, Jay reportedly accepted a lift to a remote Airbnb in the mountains with people he had only just met. Hours later, he was seen on a winding mountain road near the rugged village of Masca, separated from his group and seemingly disoriented. He placed a frantic phone call to a friend, saying he was lost, thirsty, and trying to find his way back. That was the last anyone heard from him. His phone's signal died shortly after, vanishing into the black spots of Tenerife's vast, rocky terrain. For days, volunteers and police scoured the treacherous ravines, battling blistering heat and sheer cliffs. Hope flickered with each new report, but the truth finally arrived in the most devastating way. Jay's body was discovered deep in a ravine so dangerous that even local shepherds warned tourists never to walk there. The ravine of no return. The ravine where Jay's body was found is as unforgiving as it is breathtaking. Jagged volcanic rock juts out from steep drops, while narrow paths snake through thorny vegetation. The sun bears down relentlessly, offering no shelter, and the silence is broken only by the rustle of dry grass or the occasional cry of birds overhead. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Search experts who join the rescue teams describe the terrain as a death trap for the unprepared. It is a place where one wrong step can send a person plummeting dozens of feet into obscurity. For Jay, alone, exhausted, and without water, the odds were tragically stacked against him. A video that cuts deeper than words. The newly surfaced video of Jay partying has added a layer of heartbreak to the story. For his family, it is a bittersweet memory, a reminder of his vibrancy and youth, but also a cruel juxtaposition against the silence of his final moments. "Seeing him happy like that breaks me," one family friend reportedly said. "That's how we want to remember him, smiling, enjoying life. Not lost in those mountains." The video has already spread widely online, with viewers struggling to process the whiplash between joy and grief. Strangers who never knew Jay have left comments describing tears streaming as they watch him laugh, dance, and live without knowing the fate that awaited him. The family's heartbreak. For Jay's mother, Debbie, the agony is unimaginable. In interviews, she described the search as every parent's worst nightmare and admitted clinging to hope until the very end. The video of her son partying just hours before his disappearance only compounds the torment, a vivid memory of the boy she raised, snatched away too soon. Debbie's voice, raw with grief, captured the enormity of the loss when she said, "Our hearts are broken. He was just a young lad having fun. He didn't deserve this. The family now faces the harrowing process of bringing Jay home, arranging his funeral, and somehow finding a way forward while the world continues to watch. A holiday dream turned nightmare. The tragedy has sparked conversations about the dangers that can lurk beneath the surface of sun-drenched holiday destinations. Tenerife, known for its golden beaches and vibrant nightlife, also hides treacherous mountains and isolated landscapes that can prove deadly for the unprepared. Locals have long warned tourists not to underestimate the island's wilderness, particularly the remote areas of Masca. Yet Jay's story serves as a chilling reminder of how easily fun can spiral into catastrophe when unfamiliar environments are involved. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Holidaymakers across Europe are now reevaluating their own safety habits, wondering if they too have ever pushed boundaries, trusted strangers too quickly, or wandered further than they should have in a foreign land. Social media, a double-edged sword. The emergence of Jay's last party video highlights the complex role social media plays in modern tragedies. On one hand, it immortalizes fleeting moments of joy, preserving Jay's laughter forever. On the other, it risks fueling speculation, blame, and insensitive commentary. Already, online forums are ablaze with debates. Should Jay have trusted strangers? Did alcohol or exhaustion play a role? Why did he venture so far into the mountains? His family has begged for kindness, reminding the public that behind the headlines is a devastated mother, relatives, and friends trying to survive unimaginable loss. Yet the digital age ensures that every tragedy unfolds under the relentless spotlight of millions of eyes, a fact that deepens both connection and cruelty. The legacy of Jay Slater. In the days since his body was recovered, tributes have poured in from across the UK. Friends describe Jay as cheeky, full of energy, and fiercely loyal to those he loved. Local football clubs held moments of silence, while candles and flowers appeared outside his family home in Lancashire. The nightclub video, painful as it may be, now stands as part of that legacy. A final piece of footage showing the real Jay, a young man who lived loudly, who loved music, friends, and fun. For his loved ones, the task now is to ensure his story is not defined solely by its tragic ending, but by the joy he carried through life. Searching for meaning in tragedy. Tragedies like Jay's often leave more questions than answers. Why did events unfold the way they did? Could anything have been done differently? And what lessons should the world take from such a painful story? Some argue that the tragedy highlights the need for better tourist education about the dangers of remote areas in Tenerife. Others believe it reflects broader issues, how young travelers navigate risk, how easily trust is misplaced, and how fragile life is in the face of nature's power. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ultimately, Jay's story is both deeply personal and universally resonant. It reminds us that behind every headline is a family forever changed, a life abruptly cut short, and a ripple of grief that spreads far wider than we may realize. A final image. As the nightclub lights flash across his face in the video, Jay's smile is unguarded, his joy unrestrained. For a moment, he is simply a teenager on holiday, far from the harshness of work, far from responsibility, alive in the simplest, purest way. That is how his family and friends want him to be remembered. Not as the boy lost in a ravine, but as the boy who danced, who laughed, who lit up a room. The video may be tragic, but it also offers a gift, a reminder that joy, however fleeting, is worth cherishing. And in that sense, Jay Slater's spirit endures, not in the mountains that claimed him, but in the memories of those who loved him and in the hearts of strangers moved by his story. Closing reflection. In years to come, the image of Jay Slater dancing in that Tenerife club will likely remain etched in the public consciousness. It represents both the light and the dark of youth abroad, the intoxicating thrill of freedom and the devastating vulnerability that can accompany it. His story, now entwined with the unforgiving landscape of Tenerife, is a sobering reminder of life's fragility. Yet, through the pain, it also compels us to hold closer to the fleeting joys, the laughter, and the simple moments that make life worth living. For Debbie Slater and her family, Nothing will ever fill the void left behind. But perhaps the last video of Jay, smiling and carefree, can serve as both a comfort and a warning, a testament to a young man whose life was cut short, and a call for the world to cherish every heartbeat, every laugh, every dance. Because we never truly know which moment might be the last. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.